The Dragon's airdrop finally happened, Ordinals NFTs won't go away, the SEC is hard at work to destroy our bags, and the Blur token airdrop is finally upon us. Welcome back to the Crypto Gorilla YouTube channel. We have a ton to talk about today. As usual, I'm not a financial advisor, this is just my opinion. And today's video is sponsored by Ethermail, but more about that later. So the long-awaited Dragon Super Bowl commercial finally aired. We have no idea what the metrics are, how many people ended up scanning that QR code. And it was indeed a 30-second ad of a QR code, but we are seeing a ton of backlash on Twitter. A ton of people are trolling Gabe and Digi. And as a result, we are seeing the floor of the entire ecosystem dump. Now, part of the reason people are trolling him, one of them is that he said he's going to onboard a ton of people, and everybody is saying, well, you needed a wallet already set up in order to get this NFT, so it didn't onboard anybody new. It's just Web3 people who were able to get this. The other side of it is after the 4,000 NFTs, because there were only 4,000 to be airdropped, were all minted out, the link led you to his personal Twitter where it just asked you to follow him. Now, it definitely did help boost his Twitter following. He just broke 1 million followers after getting like 160,000 in the past 48 hours. And yes, in hindsight, the commercial could have been handled a lot better. It is weird to introduce people who have no idea about NFTs, let alone to your project, by having them go to your personal Twitter and just asking them to follow you. So you're asking them to give you a follow rather than providing them with value first and then asking them for something in return. Also, a lot of people were speculating that we were going to see either a game demo or maybe some gameplay footage. So there's definitely a lot of people who were let down in that regard. But I do think there is plenty of room for a positive outcome here, especially when you consider that tens of millions of people saw this commercial. I'm sure millions tried to scan the code and maybe they didn't get an NFT. They didn't follow his Twitter. They just brushed it off as a joke or something. But a few days later, they might read an article that says there was a free NFT that was given away during the Super Bowl and it is currently trading for $500, $600, $700. And then that is what is going to convert people to join our space, because they're going to realize, wait, somebody is giving away free NFTs that people are paying $700 for. How do I get my hands on those? So this is obviously an optimal outcome and the one I am hoping for, but only time is going to tell. Next up, I want to do a deeper dive into Ordinal NFTs. But before that, are we in a bull market? Because today's video has a sponsor, and that is Ethermail, a platform that rewards its users for staying informed via read to earn mechanics. Essentially, your favorite communities can directly send you relevant information via email, and you receive EMC tokens by simply reading them. It's available to use with both your Ethereum address as well as Unstoppable Domains, as they have recently partnered, and they are currently giving away free Unstoppable Domains as well as 10 million EMC tokens for their users. I'm going to put a referral link in the description down below. It's entirely free to use, free to sign up, and not only will you really be helping my channel when you use that referral link, you're also going to get 200 free EMC tokens. So you keep hearing about Ordinals. Are they just a fad, or should you spend 183 Ethereum buying them? I don't know about the latter, but let's take a look at what is going on here. So you've probably heard two words, Ordinals and inscriptions. Essentially, Ordinals are ordered Satoshis, a Satoshi being a fraction of a Bitcoin. So it's literally what number that Satoshi is. The same way if you had a dollar bill, there is a unique number that belongs to every single dollar bill that is out there. And inscriptions is somebody inscribing data onto an individual Satoshi, and this is the first time somebody has done this. So yes, for all you know, there might be a Satoshi in your wallet that has a rare PFP on it, and yes, this also means people are currently paying multiple Bitcoin at $21,500 for an individual Satoshi, which is a fraction of a penny. Now, why are they doing this? What determines if a Satoshi is rare? Well, there's a few factors. Of course, the art does play a role here. However, people are trading low inscription numbers, and the only thing you had to do to get a low inscription was be first. So if you were the 69th person to inscribe data onto a Satoshi, you would have inscription number 69. And the reason this is rare is because it is historical value. If we go onto ordinals.com, here is a website where you could see every single inscription that is currently being created. So you can also spot upcoming collections. And we click one of these, we could see this is inscription number 79,477. And if we scroll down, we can also see which which ordinal this one is. So basically people are considering things under 1,000 as very rare. We could maybe call these grails. Anything under 10K inscriptions is very desirable. You're gonna see quite often under 10K is a term that everybody is using. And eventually once we have millions of inscriptions that have been inscribed, I assume we're gonna start to see sub 100K inscription. And if we go on Ordinal Hub, you can see that the filters people are using, it's not traits or anything like that. It is inscription numbers, where it starts and also where it ends. Now this applies to both individual NFTs as well as collections. If you have an entire collection that is under 1K inscription, that is way more rare than a collection that has one sub 1K and the rest are sub 10K, sub 20K. And that's one of the reasons that the Ordinal punks are doing so well. If you look here, all of their inscriptions are sub 1K. Now, do I think this is gonna last? This is really gonna depend on the tools that end up coming out, because right now it is very much the wild, wild west. There is no good wallet for this stuff. There is no marketplace. You're basically limited to either using Sparrow or running your own Bitcoin node, and people aren't gonna run their own node either because they don't know how or they don't have the computer memory. So if you do turn to Sparrow, there is a downside because this is on an individual Satoshi. So if I wanna send you the NFT, I have to send you a Satoshi, and when you send Satoshis, you have to pay Satoshis as a transaction fee. And the issue with the Sparrow wallet is you don't get to pick which Satoshi you are paying the fee with. Unlike the Bitcoin node, where I can pick a specific Satoshi that should not be used as a transaction fee, so I make sure the person receiving it, they get the right Satoshi that has the correct inscription on it. But with the Sparrow wallet, there is a chance that I accidentally use my Satoshi that has maybe my rare Ordinal punk that I paid 2 Bitcoin for, and that is used as a transaction fee. Now there is a third option here, which a lot of people are doing, and this is the wild, wild west of NFTs, and that is escrow, which literally means the team or the project founder is holding the NFT for you, and they are the ones who are brokering the deals when you want to go ahead and buy or sell one. Now, obviously, when somebody on the internet who is anonymous is either holding your NFT or you have to send them money without receiving anything guaranteed in return, there's going to be plenty of scams that are going to happen. So this is a very dangerous place to be playing, because no matter how much you trust somebody, let's say you don't hold your NFT, it's in escrow, and one day it is worth $5 million. Do you think that that person is going to let you have $5 million? Even if it sends their project to zero, they're probably not going to make $5 million through fees of their project. So to me, it's a no-brainer that they would just steal your money. So it's still very dangerous. Another thing we just saw happen with Bitcoin punks is a founder who is brokering the deal for you. They might swoop in and steal that deal off your hands. So there's obviously going to be a ton of shenanigans. I personally have not bought a single Bitcoin NFT yet. A lot of my friends have. They've made a ton of money doing it. So there's definitely plenty of opportunities. If I had to pick some projects that I wanted to get whitelisted for, it would definitely be the Shrooms as well as the Taproot Wizards. And I just want to give a special shout out to Captain Y. He's the one who did a lot of the research for Bitcoin. So this part of the video would not have happened without him. So definitely throw him a follow. Next up, I want to take a look at some projects, both existing ones already on the market as well as upcoming. So I pretty much faded all things 10K TF, even when Yuga Labs bought them. I didn't look into them. However, there is one that has caught my attention and I am considering buying. I'm just waiting for a bigger pullback, and that is going to be the G tags. Now, the speculation here is that these are going to be burnable and you're going to be able to claim a new Yuga Labs profile picture. And the speculation is being pushed by a couple of tweets. We're going to look at them now. The first one, if you look at this image, you can see there is a flame in front of the word king. And if we go on the OpenSea for G tags and look at the traits, you can see that there is a crown. And if we look at the picture itself, there is a flame in the NFT. Now, this is what drove a speculation and the price started to move up. However, they recently tweeted another tweet that shot it above 1 ETH. And this is because if you zoom in to this red sign on the left side, you can see it says burn crown for PFP. So for me personally, this is a gamble worth taking, and I'm most likely going to pick some up depending on where the price goes. And I'm hoping that these do pump to 1.5 to 2 ETH when they do finally announce an official PFP. Next up, we finally have an official mint date as well as some of the utility revealed for the dimensional stones. The mint date is happening on February 24th, so in less than 2 weeks. And in this tweet, they do mention some of their utilities, and that is going to be guaranteed whitelist for all future collections. And you have to remember, all their collections are going to be free. So it is essentially guaranteed free NFTs for as long as they decide to keep making NFTs NFTs for this project. Now, there's only going to be 1,000 of these stones available. They are absolutely free, and this project is VC backed as they just announced a $15 million raise. So in my opinion, this is a no-brainer to try and get. I'm going to put a link in the description down below to their website where you could sign up and try to get whitelist. Now, another game that is looking really cool. I don't have that much information on it. I have spoken to the founder briefly a little while ago. However, they have been just pumping out gameplay, which is something I love to see. I like when a project, they're not talking about their NFTs, they are talking about their game. They're showing you gameplay rather than saying, hey, we're going to charge you 0.2 for our NFTs and the game is going to come later. So if we look at this footage, it looks really cool. It reminds me a lot of Paper Mario. So this is definitely a game that I'm going to be keeping an eye on. Next up, we have sewer passes holding up really well despite the market conditions. The floor is roughly around 2.2. I'm still holding both of mine. I would consider selling my tier 1 if the floor reached around 3 Ethereum. If not, I'm just going to take part in the summoning with both my NFTs. And the summoning is happening tomorrow on February 15th, followed by what I assume is lore on February 22nd. So I'm really excited to see what the floor price is going to be on what we summon in general, and what somebody is going to pay to try to get the key. Finally, I want to talk about some upcoming or current catalysts in the market. First up, we have the Blur airdrop happening today, February 14th at 12 p.m. Eastern. I'm seeing a lot of people compare it to the Loxley token and try to plan their play around that. I'm just going to go with the flow. If it comes out and it's a super high price that I could sell my tokens for, I'm going to sell them right away. If I miss that and it just dips, I'm probably going to pick up a bit more and as a short-term play and try to flip those. But like I said, I'm just going to go with the flow and make a decision in the moment. Now, as for NFTs, we are seeing a ton of projects currently dip. This is partially due to market conditions, but it's also due to the fact that the third airdrop incentives are ending. So we're seeing a ton of volume dry up as there aren't those exit liquidity bids that you could just accept if you wanted to sell a project. Now, I did want to dump a ton of NFTs. I didn't do it in time. So now I'm just going to wait this period out, expecting NFTs to go down a bit more. I'm not going to sell them in a dip. I'm going to wait for another pump. But hopefully, if the airdrop is actually worth a lot of money, we might see a ton of liquidity added into the market and people can hopefully go buy projects that they've been eyeing for a while, especially now that all the projects are dipping and they have this newfound capital in their wallets. The second catalyst is, of course, the SEC trying to ruin the space, or at least ruin it for Americans. They're currently going after Paxos, who are the issuers of BUSD for Binance. Now, last week, we did see them go after Kraken for staking. My guess is they're trying to flex right now and show that they actually do have authority over crypto after they completely dropped the ball with FTX. But they did go ahead and fine Kraken $30 million for failure to have registered one of their staking products. But the joke here is that it's essentially impossible for any crypto product to register in the first place. But rather than provide clarity for all crypto companies on what they should be doing and giving them 2, 3, whatever months to register, they simply went ahead and punished them and forced them to pay a fee and shut down their product. Now, this did obviously cause a ton of fear in the market, which is really unfortunate to have people who are supposed to be looking out for the market make these brash decisions with no indication of what they're doing, no clarity. Now, thankfully, Commissioner Hester Pierce did speak up against what the SEC is doing. And we're also seeing Coinbase say that they're not going to take this on the chin if the SEC does come after them, as well as Kraken say they want Congress to look into the matter. Now, the third and final catalyst, it already happened. So hopefully the market is pumping since I filmed these videos in advance, but that is going to be the release of last month's CPI data. Now, this is going to be happening once per month. I'm going to put the schedule on screen here so you can track it. However, similar to what I said about the FOMC meetings, these are things that you should be aware of if you have any money at risk in the market, and you should be staying up to date with all of this because they're essentially telling you the direction that the market is going. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. If you aren't already subscribed to my video, would you kindly hit that subscribe button, smash that bell notification. Thank you for watching the Crypto Gorilla. Peace.